Hey guys, welcome back to 9 to 5 Gamers, and today on the channel we have...
Hello, hi, my name is Jacob. I've been a friend of Jeremy's for how long now? I've known you since I was 12.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I've known him forever. I am about to be 23, so that's 11 years.
11 years, yeah.
And we've only been playing board games for about a year now, actually.
Right, correct, yeah. I've been playing since, like, the pandemic is when I really started getting into board games, so I'm new to gaming. Because I'm not, like, if you think about it, the pandemic was in 2020. Like, mid-2020 is when it really was kicking in. And so for us, I've only been playing for, like, maybe 3 years now. So you've been playing for, like, a year now.
I mean, I always knew you had board games. But I don't think at that point it was, like, a hobby. No. Like, crazy like it is now.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't have this.
Not at all.
Not at all.
I
like,
had one black shelf full of games, and... now it's ridiculous and it's out of control. But that's why I'm selling a bunch of them. Anyway, this is the longest intro ever. So today, Jacob is going to be doing his top 10. So he's got some honorable mentions that he's going to show you real quick. I do. And let's get into that top 10. But before we do, like, comment, and subscribe. Tell us, what are your friends' favorite games? I want to know which ones your friends like, and maybe you dislike them or something like that. And don't forget to check out memberships. We also got a new membership. Hold up, time out. I got to call out the membership.
Get on that membership, people.
New member, new boy son, I said boy son. Boys on. So boys on. Thanks for becoming a member, man. We appreciate you so much. He came in, swinging with that money. Let's go. Everybody else, man, become a member. It's great. You get early access to videos.
It could be Boyson.
But right here, see, it says boys on.
Okay. You looked at the little profile.
I looked at the profile picture because I was like, boy son. But the last member that I got, I couldn't pronounce their name. The last name, at least.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna try.
Thank you, Mahulena. We love you. Anyways,
that sounded perfect though.
Mahulena. Well, that's the easy part to pronounce. Is the name that I couldn't do. So.
Sorry.
Anyways, so let's get into that top 10.
All right. So
just drummed on the table. I just told him not to drum on the table, and then I'm like.
So, I got 2 honorable mentions. I mean, I have a lot more. The list is a lot longer. But I'm only going to do 11 and 12 for my honorable mentions. So, coming in at number 12, we have Star Wars, The Clone Wars.
Yes.
On one of Jeremy's videos, he was actually talking about a friend that really was into Star Wars, and that's me. So... although there are a lot of games that I think other people would put at number 12, and this wouldn't go as high, I understand, but I'm biased.
Yeah, so I have to. Star Wars.
It has to be at number 12. It can't go any lower than that.
It's true. It's a good game though. It's not like it's a bad game. So like
super fun.
If Pandemic makes like your top 10, top 20, it's just Pandemic but with Star Wars theme, and that's fantastic. It's better than Pandemic.
And anything Star Wars is gonna get a bump up for me simply for that reason. Yes. So don't ever trust my scoring when it comes to Star Wars board games.
Yeah,
I will give it something crazy.
It's a perfect 10.
At number 11 is Ultra. I don't know why I put this so high, but when I was pairing it up with my other games, I was like, I think I would rather play this over and over again. The replayability with the different kind of stories that they have and the different goals that you have to meet, I think just puts this a lot higher than the other games. Yeah. And that's the reason that it hit number 11. Sadly, it didn't make it into that number 10 spot. I think that's where it would have gone.
Yeah.
But when I show you my number 10, I'll give you an explanation as to why.
Yeah, and Ultra is good, man. Like, I think the thing that makes this game cool is that it has a good system. So if they came out with expansions where they're like, hey, here's 6 new Chronicles, it's like, oh, great, I got 6 new reasons to play this game.
Exactly.
Which is what I like about it. And it's not easy.
Correct me if were there difficulty settings on this? Yeah. So
we play even on the easiest, it's like, dang, so we lost on easy mode.
You could go through all of them on easy, and then just to challenge yourself, go through them all again on hard.
This one made Allison's top 10, so that works out perfectly.
Ooh, nice. Okay, so coming in at number 10 is none other than Comic Hunters. This is almost like the Star Wars one in terms of my rating, simply because I'm a huge Marvel fan as well.
Yeah.
And I'm a big comic guy too, so just seeing this game, but not just that. I mean, the system, the way the game works, the different things you go through, the auctioning and all that other stuff, the drafting, the pairing of the cars and the symbols on the side. This game was just amazing.
Yeah.
First playthrough.
This is such a I'm sorry. I was gonna say something that sounded super offensive, but I have to say the same thing. There has to be a disclaimer. Like, this is a bad pick because you can only get in Brazil. Yeah. So like, it's one of those things where it's like, well, gee, thanks, guys. I'm never gonna get this game, and I'm like, I'm so sorry, you're missing out though. But that's good. That's the downside. I think you even said that you had to look up a translation for the instructions because it was all in Portuguese. Yeah. So if you can get your hands on it, definitely try to. It's good. It's worth really the money. Good. But that's my number 10, Comic Hunters. For a lot of people though, they would have to pay like $50 to $80 for the game plus an additional like $30 in shipping sometimes. Yeah. So that's why for certain countries it's not even. You got it at a steal though, didn't you? Yeah, we got it for $50. I don't know how he does it. He gets all his games at like steals too. The game would be $100. He's like, I just spent $20. I get pretty good deals, but David is the one who sniffed it out, bro. Like David finds games like you wouldn't even believe, bro. He's like, bro, I found Kemet the other day for like $20. I was like, where? And I got you that game for like 120. That's crazy. I know, man. I feel so bad. It's crazy. Anyway, all right. Coming in at number 9, Spirit Island. Phenomenal game. I loved it. It was difficult. It's not an easy game at all. But when we were playing it for the first time, I really enjoyed it. The concept is great. The art is great. And I do like challenging games, which is why I think I was drawn to it. And I think you'll see that when you see my the other games that I've listed. They're a little more complex. But I enjoy that. It's games that make you think. It gets you on the edge of the seat. And you don't feel like it's too easy. Yeah. I mean, this game is definitely like that. And especially, I know that there were, what was it? Like, you lose by this threat meter going up. And when that thing started going up, we were, like, sweating. We were like, dude, guys, I don't think we're going to make this. Because we started to get a whole bunch of, like, explorers and people coming out. And we're like, man, we're so swamped. And we played with Giovanni. And he was not feeling it at all. Like he was having such a tough time. Like, I don't know what to do. Somebody show me. And I was like, man, to be honest, we all got to that point. Like when that threat meter got really high and there were explorers everywhere, we didn't know where to go. We were like, this game, and this game is built specifically to get rid of quarterbacking, or some people call it alpha gaming. So the idea that you go to play a game and there's one person at the table is like, you do this and you do that and you do this, that can really ruin a game experience. It takes you out of the immersion. Like I want to get into the game. So when someone's doing that for me, I'm kind of just like, and you can't do that in this game. Because it's like, bro, I have to worry about my turn. I can't do yours for you. You know, it's tough. That's a hard game, man. It is. And it's number 9 and. That was crazy for me too. When I was making this list, so many games went up against each other that I was sitting there with my hand in my face. I was like, bro, which one do I pick? So these are tough, and I can definitely see, like in the future, if I were to do this list again, some of them changing. But yeah, well, I mean, that happened to me. For now, that's sitting at number 9. Spirit Island was my number 1, and then it went down considerably. Number 8, none other than Beast. Beast, man. And it is a beast of a game. This game is great. Allison's smiling so much right now. She's like, yeah. So the thing about Beast is actually it's one of the first games of yours that I played like this. It had that deduction to it, but the only other deduction game I've played before this was One Night Werewolf. And One Night Werewolf got kind of really boring really quick for me. Yeah. But this kind of brought it to the table. It wasn't so much that it was just person to person. We were looking at each other, pointing at each other. It got to the point where, like, we're on a team and we know who's on which team, and now we just have to figure out where this guy's at. The other reason that I love this game so much is I'm a big video game guy, and it reminded me of Witcher 3, which is possibly one of my favorite games ever. So this monster hunting idea just really stuck with me because I know that there are other games like this. Mind MGMT, a lot like this. And they're not too different, but the theme of this, like I think Jeremy said it even in his review, it pushed this over the edge for me and it brought it into my top 10. It really does, yeah. And nobody in the comments tell Jacob that the Witcher game actually exists. What Witcher? What?
What are you talking about?
There's an actual Witcher board game.
Are you serious?
It's a competitive monster hunting game. So it's not cooperative where you help each other. You actually hurt each other. And so, like, when somebody's trying to hunt, like, an animal, you can actually, like, attack them, you can wait for them to get hurt and injured and then take over and kill the beast before.
See, now I feel like my top 10 isn't that valid. Because...
Wow.
I know. Listen, I didn't even know this game existed. It was a Kickstarter, and it's getting delivered, I think, now.
Oh, okay. How many top 10s do we want to do? I could change my list as much. Every time we play a game, we can make a new one.
But like I said, my board game collection isn't even really like my collection. It's a culmination of everybody buying games, contributing. So that might be a game he'll pick up one day and add it to the collection. The Witcher.
Oh, right.
Yeah, Allison just Googled it. She's like, yo. But don't confuse it with the other one, though. There's another Witcher one that's not the correct one. How many Witcher? Oh, there's Gwent. No. Yeah, there's Gwent. Not Gwent.
Gwent low-key kind of trash. Yeah. I played even on The Witcher, and I don't like it. I don't get it.
Yeah, and there's... I was thinking of another video game, or Log.
No clue what that is.
That's from Assassin's Creed.
No clue.
Really?
Yeah, I played all of them, too. I don't know what you're talking about, though.
All right.
That was number 8.
7.
Number 7 is... They kind of got a sneak peek, because I accidentally brought it in. I was like...
Oh, did you? That's fine. You can do it.
Number 7 is Gloomhaven, Jaws of the Lion. What to say about this game?
It's amazing.
It is awesome, but the reason that I think it was lower than I expected was not having that app really messed us up. And I think that's the only downside to it. It's the setup and management of the game. Bro. And he deleted the app by accident.
On accident. I was reorganizing my apps, and if you press the little corner, it removes the app. And then I tried to say no, and I accidentally pushed yes. Like, it was the worst possible scenario.
Yeah. And then once that happened, we just thought the management was just... It was a lot.
It's a lot to manage. But I'm willing to do it.
No, yeah, and I'm willing to play the game again and play it like that, the way it was designed to be played at the beginning. Mm-hmm. But that app just made it so much easier. But to just speak on the game itself, it's a phenomenal dungeon crawler. It really is. I love... The way that the cards work and how every time you level up you get these access to new cards, and the struggle of trying to combo those cards together and exactly what it is that you need to do really makes the game very immersive, and it really puts you into like that position where sometimes you feel like you're backed into a corner. And it makes those dungeons, like when you don't play correctly, you'll see it. And if you make a mistake with your cards and what you play at first and what you don't pair correctly, and if you don't play as a team, you'll see it because y'all just start taking damage like crazy.
And I remember that play where I moved across the dungeon like 7 spaces and like rocket punched a golem and knocked it out in a single hit. And then I was like, yeah. And then all of a sudden it was like next part of the scenario, 3 more golems spawn and a whole bunch of people, and I was surrounded. I was like, I felt like Doomfist Overwatch when you like overextend on that punch and you're like, oh, I'm dead.
Freak, I'm surrounded. Yeah, but phenomenal dungeon crawler. It's really great. That is my number 7. However, number 6 is gonna be.
Ooh!
Wow, this box is very heavy.
That's a hefty box. There's a lot in there.
Number 6 is Root.
6, yeah.
Everything about this game was just awesome. The artwork.
Bro, look at this.
The different factions.
Awards it got.
Facts on the back. Here, turn around. That should speak for the game. That's great. What I liked about the game was. What I loved about this game was that it's very durable, as you can see.
Yeah.
But what I loved about it was that the different factions, and that really drew me to the game because. It's that same thing, the alpha gaming. You can't do that in this game. Everybody's playing a completely different role. So, of course, nobody's going to tell you what to do because everybody can win in their own way. Mm-hmm. But I played the Vagabond, the raccoon, and he was I didn't understand it at all at first. I mean, I think I started to get the hang of it, but I think it was too late in the game for me.
But that was all of us. All of us were like, I don't understand what I'm doing. But as we began to play, we're like, ooh, I'm starting to get the flow of this. But then by the time you do that, it's like somebody's already taken off in points, and you're like, that's too late. But that's why this game is like, it's good, if you play it a lot.
Yeah.
Because you need to get used to a faction, play them a bunch of times, understand their workings and which cards to pair well with them. Then you can get good at the game.
Yeah. When I was playing him, what I liked about my character was that I didn't really belong to a faction. I was a solo guy, so I could cut through forest and not really have to stick to the path. And I was kind of helping everybody and at the same time helping myself. Yeah. And I like that about that character, but man, that's tough too because people know who you're playing as and they don't really want to help you that often. So it's like I have to really make sure that what I'm giving to them and what I'm asking of them is fair, that they really don't have any other choice but to help me help them.
Yeah, because you had to make deals. And then
I have to make deals and
the
stuff.
other thing too is that everybody gets a player aid that actually tells you how other people win, how the other factions win. So it's like, be careful with the vagabond, don't give him too much. And so like you have to be wary of that yourself to say, man, I could really use that item, but I really don't want to form an alliance with him.
Coming in at number 5, this used to be my number 1, but based on other games that I've played, it's no longer there. Number 5 is Le Havre.
It's so good.
Oh, dude, phenomenal game. So the fact that it's still up in that top 10 for me, this being one of the first board games of Jeremy's I've ever played. The very first game I ever played was a card game. It was Dominion, and I loved it. It was a deck building game, very fun. Didn't make my top 10. I think it's in like the top 20, 25. But this game, first board game I actually played, and how long were we there for? I think you said it even in one of your reviews. We were there for like the entire night, just playing.
It was
this game.
like 3 hours y'all were playing.
The thing about me is my ADHD is severe. Like I can play a game, and we're an hour in, and if you'll look at me, and I'm kind of like just wandering off.
You glaze, bro.
I'm like just staring into the sky, just waiting for it to be my turn. This game, that didn't happen. I mean, I was locked into this game the entire time, having a blast. And it's very rare when a game does that to me. When I'm able to stay like locked in. So that's why this is top 5 for me.
I gotta get you to play the other Uwe, the guy who made it, Uwe Rosenberg. That's
if it's anything like this.
Agricola and Caverna. Agricola and Caverna are very much like it. And they're really good, man.
Yeah, man.
One thing about Uwe is that he's obsessed with like feeding your people, like as a mechanic. It's so crazy. It's so annoying because it's like at the end of round, it's like, oh, by the way, did you produce food to feed your family? Oh no, now you're in a famine, and now you're gonna lose a bunch of points. It's like, crap, man. I keep forgetting to feed my family. It's good though. It's a good lesson to learn.
If it's anything like them, I'm pretty sure I'll love them.
Oh yeah.
Because this top 5 for sure. I don't think that'll change unless I play another game that just blows me out of the water and I'm forced to push it down. But until now, I'm pretty sure that'll be top 5 for a solid while.
That's a good game to play then.
Coming in at number 4 is this game, Blood Rage.
Yeah.
We have been dying to play this game for a long time, and we finally did. I'm sure you guys saw the review that Jeremy did. If you didn't, go watch it. But this game, this board game was really fun. It's the first. So it's not the first area control game you and me played.
No,
it's the first.
Played Ankh.
We played Ankh. We do have to play that again because I feel like we didn't play it with enough people. I think 2 people for Ankh wasn't that.
I feel like Ankh shines,
at least for me,
shines at 2, and then it gets a little dicey the more you add. I think at 3 it's solid. 2 is the best for me. 3 is solid. 4 and 4. I don't even know if it plays 5, right? It's not good at higher player counts because of the merging and stuff.
Yeah. Anyways, then I'm not sure if. Then I have to play it again at 2 just to see if I like the game. Because I think playing Ankh, I don't know what it was about it that I don't know. I didn't grab onto. But this game, I did. This was a great area control game. In Jeremy's review, you heard him talk about the different way to get points. I did the suicide route. And
oh yeah, the Valhalla.
The Valhalla route where I was just like, I'm honestly gonna try and get these areas, but I'm fine if I lose.
Right.
But I would honestly try. And I think that I would just have the one thing that kind of threw me off about the game, and it's really my only gripe, is I know Jeremy I think you said you liked it about it, the drafting, which I've never truly been that much of a fan of. I like being able to pick my cards and be strategic with it. So when I get a random hand, I kind of feel like, freak, I'm stuck. Yeah. For me, what was happening was I wasn't getting any of the monsters. So in those first 2 rounds, they had monsters, and they'd do something crazy where if they invade, they automatically kill like 5 troops. So I'd be like, what the freak? So then the only option for me is to do the Valhalla route, because every time he invades, I die. Right. So it feels like the only way to get points. But that could just be on me and my strategy. I think if I play it again and change my strategy, I could come out with a different outcome. But regardless, this game made it into my top 5, top 4 is where it's at the number 4 spot.
I don't think that's an uncommon complaint about the game, actually. And I think the company fixed that with an expansion.
Okay.
And they have an expansion, a Gods expansion, and another expansion that adds more monsters and cards.
That's fire. Yeah.
So then that would fix the major issue.
And I think at one point you just didn't take a monster because you knew I wouldn't get it.
Yeah. Well, there was 2 to choose from.
Yeah. So and then but at the point that I got the monster, there wasn't much I could do either. Yeah. So, but I actually still ended up getting a lot of points from the strat that I was doing. I came in second place.
You got that big ice golem thing that was holding the rock, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing was crazy.
But the strat almost worked. I mean, I didn't beat Jeremy. I was behind by a lot, but I got up really far.
I think I did something wrong because I had way too many points. And I'm pretty sure that I played completely wrong.
But yeah, Blood Rage. That's Blood Rage, number 4. Coming in at number 3... this is a big box, dude.
Oh, okay. I was like looking over there, and I was like, "Yo, is Splendid Vale that high?"
Number 3, Artisans of Splendid Vale. You've heard Jeremy talk about it. You've heard Allison talk about it. It lives up to the hype. It's that good.
Was it on your list, Madi?
It was.
Oh, it was on your list. Oh, Madi's list too.
Yeah, it's. I
didn't know if we had it when we
phenomenal. Did that and I think it would make all our lists because it's the game that we play almost every Thursday.
Oh, yeah, hang on a second. Okay, Renegade Games. I'm literally selling copies of this game right now because of how much we're advertising it. So please sponsor the channel, and Nikki Valens, if you ever see this, please help out this channel, man, because we're champion this game.
This is so when we were first playing this game, we had a problem with whether or not it'd go above Gloomhaven, and I think we answered that question really quickly.
Yes,
it's above Gloomhaven for me. We play this game more consistently. The management is way better. The book,
yes,
you have a whole book telling you the story. You get to talk as your character, which when you do it in Gloomhaven, you don't talk. You get an option said to you, and then you respond as a group.
And that's because I have the narration app that narrates it. But even then, I don't even think I used it for the last 2 playthroughs. We're just like, this takes too long.
But for this one, you have your own voice lines that you speak in, which
which
really brings you into the game. Then there's something that Gloomhaven also doesn't have. It's the exploration as well. And the exploration can sometimes be unique to your character. When it comes to Gloomhaven, you make a decision. Do you want to do A or B, get a reward, help this guy out? This is nothing like that. If you have your own little exploration number, you pick that and you get a reward for your character, and then you explore as a group and get a reward as a group.
Yeah,
it's phenomenal. It's an amazing game. It's one of those things where it's like, oh, you chose this option, go to this number in the book. Yes. And then you go back and forth, you flip back and forth. It's great.
And I think that was such a cool part of it too, is that it says everybody opened to page 384. And we opened up and then we're all looking at the same map. But then on our pages, all we see is a little circle with a statue, and the whole map for us is black and dark, and we can't see anything on the map. But Allison goes, "That's weird. I can see everything." And we're like,
"Yeah.
What?" And how is it that you can see everything? Because her character was blind, her senses kick in, and she could literally see the entire map in the darkness. So she had numbers, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!" And these are spoilers, so sorry about that. This is a spoiler alert. But these things are super cool, man. Yeah. These spoiler. We're still in the beginning of the campaign, though. We're not even done with it,
and we're loving it. I think this will definitely be one of the more consistent ones. Gloomhaven, we will get back into.
Yeah.
I want to really bad.
Big boy Gloomhaven, we need to do that.
The other thing that I like about this game is that in Gloomhaven you work as a team and you have abilities that you can use on other players, which this game also has. But the other thing is for example, my character can craft, and I can give items of armor to the people that I'm playing with. And Jeremy can craft weapons.
I craft weapons.
And he can give weapons.
Madanid crafts potions that she can give to people.
Runes.
And then Allison enchants those objects. So if I give it, I could craft a crossbow and say, Allison, can you enchant this? And she can check her rune list and go, you know what, I have a rune for this that'll make it stronger. And then she can enchant it with her runes and then give it back to me, or I can pass it to somebody else.
Yeah, which in a way is sort of a similar mechanic. It's kind of like, hey, you're using your ability to help other players, but it's not while you're battling. It's outside of that. Once the battle is over, we can like trade items. And I think that's really cool. It's not necessarily trading, but it's like, hey, who needs this? I can make armor. Bet, here you go. Here's a piece of armor. Yeah. You could put it on your character, which I love. I think that's amazing.
Initially, my first gripe, like with the game, was that the dice combat was the dice combat was too simple. Like, it's just like you roll 3 dice, and then it's like I can only do 2 actions, so I can use these dice. I can boost my actions. But then as I started to progress in the game, and we started to get new items, new abilities, I started to realize, even though I just rolled an attack icon, and I'm going to spend it, and it's very simple, the options I have to choose from that attack dice triggers make the game very expansive. And that was where I was like, okay, this game got a lot better. But that was initially like a worry for me.
Yeah, at the beginning. But I feel like once we go deeper into the game, we're just going to love it way more. But that's number 3 for me. Coming in at number 2 is Kemet. What a phenomenal area control game. Like I was saying with Le Havre, I have a very short attention span, and this game locked in the entire time. You could ask Jeremy. I don't think there's really been another game where I was that invested in what was going on the board.
Yeah.
I mean, just taking in every second, taking in every move, actually strategizing. Just great. And the fact that I almost won, too.
Yeah.
Almost,
it was super close.
It's super close. I swear, I thought I had that game in the bag. I really did. And then Jeremy did some stupid stuff at the end. I was like, freak, man.
I locked you in.
No, here's the issue. This is the reason that I lost. And I'm blaming Giovanni for it. Yes. Because Giovanni left in the middle of the game. So,
but he had a meeting he had to go to.
Yeah, he had a meeting he had to go to. It was super important. I was like, bro, just don't go to the meeting. Just skip it. You don't need to be there. No, but he needed to be there. But what happened was, I'm going to justify this because I feel like I still should have won. I'm salty about it.
Go ahead.
But essentially, I was in the lead the entire game. Jeremy did some crazy play, but I knew if Giovanni was there to take his turn, he could have done something to stop Jeremy. He could have.
Probably, yeah.
But he wasn't there, and neither of us wanted to move for him.
That is to say, though, that Giovanni would have targeted me and not you, because you were in the lead. So there would have been a lot to say about that, I think.
Yeah.
I think he would have more likely targeted you, and then I would have swooped in and stole it anyway.
I don't know. I don't agree. I think I would.
I put one of my army guys right outside of his where all of his people spawned, so that if he took a step, he would have had to initiate a combat against me.
But here's the issue.
I pinned him in there.
Here's the issue.
You could have teleported.
I could have teleported to Giovanni's spot, but because Giovanni wasn't there,
we agreed
and
that
his
we
people
wouldn't do
were.
that,
We agreed we wouldn't. If I could have teleported to Giovanni's spot
and
beat him in combat, I would have won. I would have won.
This game is great.
Phenomenal. Amazing game. I can't wait to play again so I can
get ready for
win.
the salt.
For sure.
You won today, though.
I did win today.
You did win.
That game...
Orleans?
Orleans, I did win.
That's a good game, too.
Yeah, every time I win a game, that's another bias. Because I won, I give it another point. Because I'm freaking godly at it.
11 out of 10.
Yeah. But, which is exactly why this one is sitting at the number 1 spot.
And it has good reason to be there.
Dune Imperium.
I need to get the expansions.
Amazing game. What I loved about it was the different systems in the game, the way that the fighting worked. I think Jeremy got mad at the card that I had at the end because I had a card that did I forgot what it was, plus 6 damage to the 10 I was already doing or something. I forgot exactly the card, but Jeremy got mad. I was like,
it was so OP.
I was annihilating everybody in the fight. I was getting all of the water. I not to toot my own horn, I took off.
He really did. But the thing that I didn't like,
I took off.
The thing that I didn't like too is that this game. I love this about the game is that the game only goes up to 9 points or 10 points. Kemet is the same way. It only goes up to 9 points. Whoever gets 9 first, you win. But I like Kemet because Kemet has a checkmate system, right? That says, hey, you got another turn to stop me, right? And to take a point from me or something like that. But in this game, it has like some of those mechanics. But
yeah, but
I was like, I'm going to lose.
The thing about this game is that, unlike Kemet, I don't think it's as easy to get points. It takes a minute.
No.
Moving up those tracks on the side is slow.
Bro, and that the goals that you flip over
and you have to reach,
and then it's like it's like the combat cards that you flip over, and it's like whoever wins the combat this round gets this. You're just looking at them and going, I don't want an intrigue card. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this. And then the next one flips over 2 victory points. And you just throw all of your little military guys.
But there wasn't just combat cards. What else was there? There were the other, I think, were they blue or something?
Are you talking about the intrigue cards? Yeah, the intrigue cards can give you different abilities. They can give you combat potential. They can give you other stuff as well. Buying power.
My cards were insane. I think really I was getting luck of the draw on those.
Yeah, you got some. You had the best cards in the game. I think when I would get one, it was like Gaina Solari. I'm like, the heck am I supposed to do with this stupid card?
I would give it a 10 simply because I won. But if I were being realistic, it sits at a 9.
It's a good game.
It's phenomenal. It's so good. I love this game. I know David loved this game. I don't know where it sat on his list.
It's not his. It's not in his top 10. His number 1, but it is in his top 10.
Okay, it's not his number 1, but it's in
his number 1 is Lost Ruins of Arnak.
Oh, but he always I need to play that.
You gotta play.
David loves it. Apparently.
I think you like it. It's good. It's just. I feel like it's almost as good as this. I prefer this slightly more than that one. David likes that one slightly more than this one. The 3 that are always compared are this one, Arnak, and that one, Endless Winter. I played that, and I got really upset that people liked it. But I got to play it again.
But so this is sitting at number 1. This isn't the only time I've done a top 10. One time I did a top 10 before, just for fun, and this game still came out number 1 for me. Yeah. So
it's a good game.
It's just I think it's gonna take that spot forever, really, because it's sitting above all these other games. So even if a game does better than some of these, I don't know if it'll do better than this.
And your top 10 is literally, I'm so jealous of it because I did my top 100 list before I played Kemet, before I played Blood Rage, and I already have that list done. So now what I'm thinking is I'm going to have to look at my next 3 top 10 videos or 4, and I'm going to see if I can just put all of those games back in, add these in, and see if I can maybe shuffle out some games. Because honestly, there were games on my list that I was like, honestly, I would have replaced this with Kemet. And I was like, bro, this game's, like, Codenames is great, but I don't think Codenames would have really made my top 100 if Kemet was there. You know what I mean? Or at least, like, the number 100 game. We could just forget about that game and put this in there. So, yeah. But anyways, that is Jacob's top 10. Good stuff.
Yeah, man. I love this. Every game on here, phenomenal. I had a feeling that my top 10 was going to be a little difficult to choose, but we got it down and we got it done, and I love every single one of them. I want to see what you guys think though about these games. Like, I'll be checking the comments to see exactly what everyone's saying. I want to know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you hate my choices. Maybe I suck. Maybe I'm dull.
But we need to play Nemesis.
We do need to play Nemesis.
I want to play Nemesis so bad. Yeah. And then Cthulhu Death May Die. That's another good one.
But we have other games to play from the Wheel of Shame.
I know. Oh yeah, we got to play Rising Sun.
Rising Sun will be next.
Then we'll have finally played the whole trilogy. You would have played the whole trilogy with me because you played Ankh, Blood Rage, and Rising Sun. So then,
and we need to play Cyclades and Inish, but that'll be another day if we get it on the Wheel of Shame. Sweet, the Wheel of Shame is authoritative. Whatever it lands on, we play.
Whatever the Wheel of Shame says, we do.
So as bad as I want to play Inish and Cyclades, I have to wait. If the Wheel of Shame decides that it wants to bless us with such a game, then it will.
Just gotta pray to the Wheel of Shame. I'm just joking. Anyway, have a good one, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe, and as always, go ahead and check out memberships if you are interested in getting early access to videos and some exclusive content and stuff like that. And that's it. Love you guys. See you guys later.
Peace. I will trust him.
Huh? No, I'm not recording yet. But I wasn't recording just a second ago, and now that I am recording, Earth is dull.
Earth is... I don't know. I haven't played it.
You haven't played it yet. I think it's okay.
No, you don't. You're lying.
It's underwhelming because what people said was that it's a 10 out of 10. And so when people say it's a 10 out of 10 and you play it and it's super mid, you're like, it's a good game. I really like it. But, oh yeah, come in. I need you to...
Let's not.
Okay, cool. Oh, I can feel your leg. Boof. All right, and so then just remember not to look over here and don't look at the mic. Look at that.
Got you.
And 3, 2, 1. Oh, I was like, wait.
Oh,
ready? 3, 2.